Yeah. The campfires was at 150 to 500 yards of the road. 150 to 500 yards of the road. And the Confederates exhausted. They're sleeping. And they're big screw up. Now, Brown wasn't drunk. Hood wasn't drunk. Cheatham wasn't drunk. There's no proof or nothing about that. Yes, Brown was asked to leave a few days before from the House of Columbia because he was drinking, but that doesn't mean he was drinking there. Yes, Cheatham was spokesman for Jack Daniel's whiskey after the war, but that doesn't mean anything. He said it was the purest liquid ever touch a man's tongue. And but there's no proof of nothing of that. Nobody drinking and partying and crap. It's lack of communicating, overconfidence, and exhaustion. Hood didn't think Schofield would do this. He didn't think he'd do this, and he did. He did.
I'm amazed by
the only choice Schofield really had.
I'm amazed by the fact that the Union soldiers, the Federal soldiers could keep quiet. Because you ever listen to that and watch there's canteens. And,
they tied them down. They trapped. They put rawhide over the wagons.
So they knew ahead of time they were going to be marching.
Well, they could see the freaking campfires. And some of them were captured lighting their pipes. Schofield denied all that. Well, he wasn't there. He was already in there, and that's the direct sources or whatever. And a terrible opportunity. I mean, a great opportunity that was lost. This is the seeds for Franklin. This is all the seeds coming up for Franklin and stuff. Is everything clear? I urge you to read, come up to your own conclusions, but Cheatham, there's only one source at Franklin that ever said that there were 24 cannons on the field of Franklin for the Confederates. Even Wiley's source book says there's 12 guns. All those books before that, 12 guns. Pressman's battery. Pressman was an engineer. He never commanded a battery anywhere. Only one source said 24 guns on the field. Cheatham, there were 24 guns on the field because we documented that. And I'll touch on that when we get at Franklin. I believe Frank Cheatham. And Hood's orders were not disobeyed. And I like to say he's a good friend of mine. We don't agree on it. Yeah. And so, any other questions? Is it clear? Is it clear, folks? I know it's redundant. I've been repeating over and over again. Tomorrow there won't be a lot of tactics tomorrow, Franklin. I'm coming at you. And we're going to settle this right here, damn it.
How many troops were coming up the road? How many
there were 7,000 here. That's Wagner's, whatever. Approximately. Got to remember there's 26,000 strong, at least 21,000. Something like 15, 16,000.
So 15, 16,000.
15, yeah.
They had to sneak by.
And Granbury Bay and that wood and the others got away.
Yeah, Granbury went that way, did engage with this scenario, but then came back to line on Claiborne's left. Yeah.
I couldn't see why it's not remarkable that happened. I mean, they're all outfitted the same way. Only it's at night and you can't see what color uniform they may have on. They're mismatched anyway. They probably thought they were their own troops.
And Captain English of Granbury's staff, he went up there to sheriff. He was captured. He just went out there to see what the hell's going on. I heard something. He was grabbed, and he was out of the picture. Yeah.
That's still amazing picture.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Well, this is Reese was saying it wasn't nearly as bad as Cedar Creek. What was it? The hill we went up last year there. Oh yeah, I remember that one. I can't remember what the name of it was. Well, there's too many hills.
Father and son, nephew. I thought he was your great grandson.
That politician's name is
It's clear for everyone. I urge you to read it and read different sources. Read Sam's book. Read a lot of different sources there. And read Cheatham's reply too. I don't know what it was called back then. And we're going to come up over this rise around the curve, and then to your right will be the Absalom Thompson House. Oak Lawn was the name of it. I hope we can get in there hit or miss as we get around this corner. Those are redbud trees, by the way. Keep on going around the bend past this in front. Slow down just for a second here. Keep on going. There's the gravel driveway, and that's where Hood slept that night. Let's see if the gates are open. My goodness, I think they are both open. Slow down, Rick. One of them's open. Okay, it's your call, Rick. Can you get in there with one gate and maybe let's pull in there just for a second. Not one. Let's see if I can open up the other one.
Yeah, I've been all over.
Okay. I know Mr. Shuff who owns the site, and let me see if I can open it up.
Just shove it at the bus.
Hold on.
Come on, it's not your bus.
Unfortunately, we can't get in there. If the other gate was open, we could. But Mr. Shuff has saved this site, and they're going to develop all of it, build houses all around it, and kept it from that occurred. Mr. Shuff owns Shuff's Music in Franklin. Great man, Vietnam veteran, fine man. And this, of course, if only these walls could talk. First of all, I wish we could get up there. I'll show you a photograph on my phone. But that tree, that big tree just to your left of the house, but the right big tree, but left of the house, that's a 600-year-old tree there. Can't tell you what kind it is. That's a witness tree. That's what the tree experts claim. It's almost 600 years old. And we can tell you what kind of tree it is. But this was Hood's headquarters on November 29th. The pond is right behind that house. And as I already noted, but this endless stream of generals, Bate, Cheatham, Stewart, Bate again, Forrest, 4 generals come here. And then, as the legend says, that's not documented, but the private soldier warns General Hood at 11 o'clock that night, General Forrest, can you block the road? I will try in an emergency. He did not say he could block the road. He did burn 39 wagons near Thompson Station, but infantry was there and drove them off. And there is a documented source that Forrest and Wathall was here, and Forrest said to Wathall, excuse my language, but overheard, damn Hood, Wathall with 1 brigade, I could have captured the whole damn shebang, quote unquote, quote unquote. And the next morning, this is where General Hood realized that the enemy had escaped. And he was as wrathy as a rattlesnake on November 30th. Does that mean he was angry in the afternoon of November 30th when the attack began? No, it was not noted. I'm not saying he made decisions on anger. I'm not saying that. I suspect he was still slightly miffed, to say the least, but I suspect that. I don't know that. I do not know that at all. His headquarters, where he slept, was in the bottom left-hand window there. That's where he slept. Some say he went upstairs. I heard that in the past as a kid. Now, I met the family, the Thompson family, and they swore that, because he was a minister, Presbyterian minister, they swore that Absalom Thompson would never allow drinking in his home. Well, I know you're a man of the cloth, but are you going to tell these Confederate generals you couldn't drink? I have no sources that claim they were drinking there. I'm just saying that I don't think a Presbyterian minister is going to keep them from it if he wanted to. But there's no sources that they were drunk here. No sources they were dancing with Jesse Peters. Now, a lot of people claim Brown was drunk. There's no proof of that. Certainly no proof of Hood being drunk, but he was awakened 3 times. He was awakened. I think he was exhausted. I truly do. And I think he was overconfident. He didn't think Schofield marched down that pike. On a modern note, or semi-modern, George Jones and Tammy Wynette lived here. And there was a mountain of whiskey and vodka bottles behind the house. But as the story goes, George wanted to go into Spring Hill and drink, and Tammy wouldn't let him. She took the car keys. She went to sleep. About 2 a.m. she got a call from this tavern down there, and she said, you need to come pick up George. How did he get there? He drove the lawnmower down there. Oh well, you know the way that goes. And, but sir, you need me, Rick, you need me to get behind you to help you out? Okay, we're going to head that way. Yeah. What's that? That's a good question. I don't think those are period, but I could be wrong. But I don't think those are period. Those brick look a little bit modern, although some of them might be old. I don't think they are.
Like
No, thank you.
I think right behind that today is
What's that?
there's a little wire thing, see, like it's behind there, but I don't know how you access that.
If they're both open, I'd go in there because they know me semi, but I think I would be whatever to open it up myself. I pushed on it and it didn't move very easy. I'd hate to break it, and I'd be in big trouble. As we come around this bend, and we're going to end up being at the Columbia Pike and take a right when we get up there. But you'll see Old Spring Hill. Look at the topography one and the lack of homes too. And this won't be like this forever. And as we get around this bend, a lot of still woods and fields, et cetera, et cetera. Saturn 2000 was supposed to develop all this, but then of course, you know, they had hard times and it didn't happen.
What do they do with the factory now? That factory, what is it?
I just
They're
couldn't get
still
them up.
there, and they're still making cars, but not like they used to.
Oh, yeah. Has there ever been an attempt to try to buy over some preservation?
Well, certainly that where we were on, the Weavers worked with them and had that saved. But as far as out here, not that I know of. Not that I know of. I like this drive because you can just see the way it used to be for the most part. Well fertilized. When we get to Rippavilla, I'm going to run into the gift shop and just tell them we're here just to, you know, walk around. They'll let us. And they do have a gift shop there too. And I urge you not dally too long because we got so much to see. We're going to stop by the Van Dorn house where he got shot too. And then I know y'all going to want lunch as well. But we're, let me run in first, tell them we're here, then we'll discuss what occurred at Rippavilla and blah, blah, blah. This is all gone. It's just a matter of time before this is all developed. The houses, it's all gone. Just around this all we have
Stephen Hood, he says there's absolutely no documented source of anything that happened on this breakfast. Nothing. The only thing is the oral tradition of Mrs. Cheers that says language. Period. That's it. That's the only thing. Is there more to your knowledge?
I mean, that's item right now.
It's not a minority.
But did one of the participants, did he write something down about what happened at that breakfast? Is that where it comes from?
I can't give you the sources right now, but I will find out by tomorrow morning. Yes.
I think didn't Eric do a video on the impact that whole thing had on Claiborne? Because all the people there, Claiborne is the one that wanted to impact. Would have had something.
Are you talking about at Spring Hill or at Franklin?
Spring Hill.
Okay. Claiborne was not at the meeting. Now,
At the breakfast.
at the breakfast, Claiborne wasn't there. There's no divisional commanders there. No general that was killed at Franklin was at this breakfast.
You heard of it?
Yes, definitely. So the old legend here is that all the generals killed at Franklin were here at this breakfast. They were not any of them, including Claiborne. It was Cheatham, A.P. Stewart, Forrest, obviously Hood, S.D. Lee just arrived as it was ending as well, and just as it was ending. There were a couple of the generals